This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're taking a look at the Carl Friedrik Carry-on X, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So the shell of this thing is crafted from, let me get it closer to you, German-engineered Makrolon. So this is a synthetic material and it's pretty lightweight, but it also is very durable. I don't know if you saw, there are a few little scratches on this thing just from wear and tear. I don't think it really detracts from how this thing looks. I think it looks pretty nice. And you can clean these up pretty easily. I used a magic eraser and a lot of them cleaned up. But these are ones that occurred after I did the first cleaning to see if the cleaning worked. So I think a lot of these would go away. Again, I'm not sure how well you can see them, but they are there. But again, I don't think it takes too much away from this pack. I really like these vertical lines. I think it just adds a little bit of dimension to this thing overall. So on this side here, we have 4 little feet here. So you can set the pack on its side without it sitting on the material. So if you are just like sitting somewhere, you don't want to be on the wheels, like if you're on like an inclined surface or something like that, you can set it on this side, or when you're loading it, if you're using this as a checked bag, you can do that. Putting it up again, we have handles on the top and side here. So let me angle it a little bit so you can see that it slides up there to give you a little bit more space for your hand under there. And then you have the one on the side here as well. I like that it just has 2. A lot of times they'll have 3 and sometimes 4. I never really found myself using any of them other than the 2, but 4 is nice if, I don't know, if you can only put it in one certain way and the handle's not facing that way, it can make it harder to get out. But I'm fine with the 2. We do have a leather material here. I think it feels very nice and also adds a kind of a nice contrast as well. And it stays out of the way when you're not using it because of that function where it pops out. So it's kind of more out of the way when you're not using it, but when you are using it, it pops out like that. So on the top handle here, you can see the button is on the top, so pretty easy to get access to. No padding or anything like that, no like gripping material. It's pretty wide. As you can see, my hand fits on there pretty nicely without feeling claustrophobic. So I do like that, but some people who like a grippier material or just like maybe a little bit of padding or something, you don't have that, but overall pretty happy with it, especially the width. I don't like it when they're kind of like suffocating your hand and just making you feel like a little bit too claustrophobic. Moving on to the bottom here, we have 4, let me make sure I get the name of these correct, 360 Hinomoto wheels. So I had pretty good luck with these things. Nothing really like went awry. They work. They transition from 2 to 4 wheels really easily and are durable. No issues with them breaking or anything like that. And one last thing to note is that the zipper on this secondary compartment is unbranded to my eye, but no issues to report with that so far. So if you are enjoying this video, make sure you throw a like on it and subscribe to the channel so we can continue making content like this to help you travel smarter. So I was just sitting on it. So as you can see, you can sit on this rolling luggage. I like it when you can do that because sometimes if you're waiting in the airport and there's not an available seat, it's nice to be able to do that. We have 4 different heights here. So that's the highest one, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th there. So it's pretty good. I like that it has 4. Sometimes you just see 1, but I think 2 or 3 are probably more common. So you have all the way up to 4. And this one, I'm just over 6 foot, so this feels pretty comfortable to me, but maybe a little bit too high. I think my favorite one is actually this one here. So even if you're taller than me or shorter than me, you should be able to find something that works for you. It does jingle just a little tiny bit, but not any more than other ones that I've tested. I think this one actually does pretty well, but it's not completely solid like some other ones that you'll see. But again, as I said earlier, it rolls really well, spins really well, transitions from 2 to 4 pretty well. Hard to show you, we do have carpet right here, so I'm just on a little bit of concrete slab over here. But overall, very happy with the wheels and just how this thing rolls and kind of carries from 2 wheels to 4 wheels. So we have a secondary compartment on this thing, which isn't super normal for rolling luggage. We are seeing it more often as this hard-sided luggage is getting more popular. Most of the time you don't see it, but in recent years you'll see it a little bit more. Let me get around the side to open this real quickly. So flip it up top. And as you can see, we have some organization inside of here. Kind of difficult to show it to you properly, but there is a gusset. I don't know if you can see me through here on the sides. So you have a hook and loop fastener and 2 buttons. So if you want to get more organization, or if you have a YouTube channel where you review travel gear and you want to be able to show people the organization a little bit better, you can do that pretty easily. So on this side here, I didn't find the organization on this side as useful just because typically I have a tech pouch and just most of the stuff that I would put over here is already in my tech pouch or another organization. But I did like the ability to put my phone and my wallet in these 2 pockets here because typically when I'm walking through the airport, I have a bunch of stuff on me and I try to get stuff out of my pockets. So I put those inside of there and just kind of out of the back of my mind, I know where they are if I need them. but other than that, they're just not bogging me down at all. So you have 2 more pockets up here that would also work for organization, identification, whatever, and then 2 pen slots here that you might be able to use for a stylus as well, depending on the thickness. If you have a really thick stylus, I don't think that would fit there. But the real party is on this side, I think, because we do have a laptop compartment. So I just have my Nintendo, not my Nintendo Switch, our office Nintendo Switch that is 3D printed in here to show that that would fit inside of here. Without a case, I don't know if I would do that, but if you have a really thin case like the TomTot case, you still might be able to fit it inside of here. So you have quick access and you don't have to throw it in there if you're not bringing a sling or something like that. But we have the laptop compartment right here. So as you can see, this is a 13-inch laptop and there is a little bit of wiggle room. So I was able to fit a 15-inch in there just barely, but if you're putting more stuff inside of here, or if you have the main compartment really packed out because this does share space, that might be a little tight. So I feel very comfortable with a 13, not as comfortable with a, maybe if we don't have a 14, so I couldn't test that, but not as comfortable with a 15. So we have a hook and loop fastener right here as well to make sure your laptop doesn't slide out. But overall, pretty happy with the organization presented here. I don't really know exactly why that gusset exists, but it's there. And it's been very helpful for me to show you this. And again, if you want to kind of get into the nitty-gritty of organization, you can do that. But that is the secondary compartment. I like that it's a zipper, but these zippers do make, I didn't really close that properly, but you guys know what it should look like. I think a lot of people like rolling or hard-sided rolling luggage because typically it doesn't always have zippers, or maybe, I don't know. When I think of soft-sided luggage, I think of jangly zippers, and not so much when I think of hard-sided luggage, but you get that here. So those aren't really stowed in a great place. So you're still getting a little bit of jangle. I noticed it like when I'm coming up and down the stairs and stuff like that. So just something to note if you don't like the jangle of zippers. You can kind of get around it by where you place them, maybe if you put them on the top, not so much, but it did happen to me a few times in testing. So for the main compartment on this one, we don't have a zipper. We have these 2 little buckle clasps right here. So I'm going to lift this up so you can see a bit better that we do have a locking system. So 3 numbers, you can set the code to be whatever you want the code to be. And it is TSA approved as well. So I think I just had it set to 000 and I think I messed it up there. So I want to make sure that I can pop them open easily. So I have this thing really packed out right now. So when I open it, I'm going to have it like this so it doesn't fly open. So I'm going to pop that, and that actually didn't pop too much, but they're really easy to open and close. If you have it really packed out, you kind of have to like push it down and then close it, but I think my stuff's kind of compressed a little bit while it's been in there, so it's not popping open right now. But I did have that a few times when I overstuffed this, or not even really overstuffed it, just had some larger items like shoes and stuff like that, which you're obviously going to bring, so something to keep in mind. So I'm going to flip this open now, and as you can see, a few things kind of came out from where they were. This was over here. Sorry if you can hear that honking right now, someone's horns going off in the hallway. But we have 2 different sides here, and they're actually pretty identical, except this one has a big like organizational thing right here. So on this side over here, we don't have that. We just have a big open space and we have this compression thing. So this is just like a regular piece of material. It's not stretchy or anything like that. We have this big old buckle in the middle that you can loosen pretty easily and then tighten back up again to get some compression. But as you can see, I don't have the space completely packed out. So it's not actually doing a ton of compression, especially on this side up here where my tech pouch is and this other packing cube is. So that's how that was able to kind of come over here. So I'm gonna open this up real quick and just pull. I guess I can just throw those. So as you can see, there is quite a bit of space here, and I don't have anything in that front pocket right now, but when I did earlier, so this shares space, so I can feel the laptop compartment right now. So when you have your laptop, you have a Nintendo Switch, or different stuff inside that front compartment that you want to have quick access to, that's gonna be taking up space here. So these 2 are pretty much identical, again, other than this organizer, except this one has less space because of that organization. Obviously you have the telescopic handle in this one, but I still would say this one has more space when you have that front pocket completely packed out. So I'm gonna just put this here to kind of get them out of the way a little bit and move over to this side. So same thing over here to get compression. I think you actually get more compression here with this thing because there's just more stuff touching the gear you have beneath it. But I wasn't able to compress it as much because I have more hard stuff under here, more rigid gear under here. As you can see, the shoes kind of peeking out right here. So I think if I were to take this on a longer trip with more clothing, I would put them on this side so that way I could get more compression with this thing, especially with the divider here, because again, more touch points, more compression. But for what I packed this for, just like a weekend trip, I think it made sense to go the other way. But because these are identical, you can really get into the nitty-gritty of packing and just do whatever you want with it, because you do have that opportunity to do, because there isn't a bunch of organization to bog you down. The only real organization inside of this side is this divider here, which, as you can see, attaches up there. So it flips out like this if you want, like you're in a hotel room or something like that. Obviously, if you put it on the bed, or if you have it like on your desk, or the little thing that you're supposed to put your luggage on, you could like lean this up against the wall. But obviously the zipper is on the other side here. So the zipper opens like this, and I just have socks and underwear stowed inside there right now. No organization inside of there, just a good place to stuff a bunch of stuff a bunch of items. You could put flat items like a map in there, or even some tech if you didn't want to bring a dedicated tech pouch, but you do have the secondary compartment for that as well. But in this side over here, I just have some shoes, set these to the side, a hat that I got while I was in New York, very touristy of me, I know, and then a toiletry container. So as you can see now, these two areas, if you were to unattach that completely, are pretty much the same. You have the two runners here from the telescopic handle, and then you have the organization from the secondary compartment over here, which doesn't have anything in it right now because I took it out to show you how everything fit. So overall, I really like that there isn't a ton of organization in here. If you've seen my reviews on this channel before, you know how much I like kind of doing things my own way with packing cubes, tech pouch, toiletry pouch. But if you're someone who likes everything to have a home, this might not work for you, because this is the only organizational feature that you do have. But overall, very just happy with the durability of this and how versatile it is. But again, if you like organization inside your rolling luggage, this might not be the one for you. So there you have it, the Carl Friedrik Carry-on X. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.